Hi, I'm Kathryn Yarbrough, and this is Waking Up with Kathryn. And today what I'm aware of is a transformation that's happening within me around making decisions. And what I'm aware of right now is a sort of a chronological process that I want to share with you around making decisions. And the first was that my dad gave me some advice years ago, and he said that a good business person makes a decision by weighing out the pros and cons, and there's always pros and cons to both sides of everything, and then making the decision that makes the most sense based on weighing those pros and cons. And that a good business person actually makes the decision. We can't succeed without making decisions. We need to make them. So for years, I used that advice, and there were situations where, I had to weigh pros and cons, both sides almost equal, but I made decisions. And then a few years ago, I started using the emotional guidance system, which is a moment-to-moment indicator that lets us know through our emotions and body sensations whether or not what we're thinking, speaking, and doing is moving us towards what we really want. And what we really want, I believe, is to be fully awake. What we really want is the full expression of ourselves and oneness with all that is. I've been using the emotional guidance system to help me make decisions and to keep me moving in the way that feels right for me. And recently, over the last few months, I've come to a place where I am having to make some decisions, or at least I perceive that I'm having to make some decisions, and I haven't been able to, because on the one hand my head says one thing, and on the other hand my feelings are saying another thing. And so a third component, or a third way of knowing, has arisen for me, which is part of, I think, my conundrum at the moment. And that is the recognition that when we are awake, when we are fully present, awake in our bodies, present in our bodies, with an open heart and an expanded mind, and aware of the field in which we are all a part of, knowing arises. The knowing of the next thing that needs to happen is just here. And there is no hesitation. We just do it. There's no need, in a sense, to weigh the pros and cons unless our knowing tells us to weigh the pros and cons. But there's no need to figure it out. There's just a knowing. And it comes in at a body, heart, and mind level. And we just know. And so that awareness of that way of, in a sense, making a decision has been part of my conundrum, because I've been waiting for knowings. I've been waiting for the right knowing that would then align with my emotion, so I would know I was going downstream. And it's fascinating to me because, first of all, I am not that awake yet. And so I am in this situation that is a human situation. I need to make some decisions about what's happening with the space I'm using for my business, what's happening with some professional development workshops that I had scheduled, and whether or not I'm still going to do them or not, what's happening with my income generating activities overall in general. Do I get a part-time job, or is there something else that's more right to have happen? And so I have found myself stymied. And this morning when I started to work on this video, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I couldn't decide what to talk about today or what to do for today's Waking Up with Kathryn video show. So I decided to explore this. And this is in fact my second recording because my first one was so long and I wanted to just summarize the concepts. And so I don't have an answer. I am on the journey, and this is where I am on my journey. And this is Waking Up with Kathryn. I'm Kathryn Yarbrough. See you next time.